The night began quietly, the city glowing faintly under the misty Halloween lights. I was home, flipping through channels, searching for something to fill the silence. Then I stopped. A channel I'd never seen before was showing a strange midnight broadcast with no title, no logo, just static and shadows moving in rhythm. At first, I thought it was some kind of experimental art. The screen flickered, showing a street I recognized, my own street. The camera panned slowly as if someone was walking outside right now. My reflection on the TV screen looked nervous, almost as if it knew something I didn't. Curiosity got the better of me. I opened the window to check outside, and the air felt heavier than before. The sound from the TV seemed to echo through the alley, each static burst syncing with the flickering streetlights. It was as if the broadcast wasn't just showing the street, it was controlling it. I grabbed my jacket and stepped outside just to prove to myself it was nothing. The air smelled like rust and smoke. The same rhythm from the TV played faintly in the distance, a haunting hum repeating over and over. Every step I took matched the footsteps coming from the broadcast. The closer I walked, the more I realized the broadcast was slightly ahead of me, predicting what I was about to do. When I stopped, it stopped. When I turned around, the camera view on the TV turned too, but with a delay, like it was waiting for my reaction. My phone lost signal, and every building window reflected that same eerie blue light. People on the street were frozen, staring blankly at flickering screens through their windows. I called out, but no one responded. They only blinked in unison with the static. I approached one of them, a man standing under a flickering lamppost. His eyes were open, but his pupils were gone. The hum from the broadcast grew louder. I backed away. My reflection on the window behind him started moving, but I wasn't moving at all. Panic rushed through me. I ran back home, slamming the door shut, gasping for air. The TV was still on, showing me entering the house from a slightly different angle. Then, a new figure appeared beside me on the screen, standing in the shadows near the door. I turned instantly, but there was no one there. Only my shadow, stretching unnaturally long across the floor, twitching in ways my body didn't. I reached for the remote to turn it off, but it didn't work. The volume rose on its own, whispering words I couldn't understand. The whisper grew into a voice, calm, familiar, almost like my own. It said, "Don't look away." Against every instinct, I stared at the screen as the figure stepped closer to my reflection. My heart pounded so loud it drowned out the hum. The broadcast began looping, showing the same sequence of me entering the house again and again, but each time the version on screen looked a little different, more pale, more hollow-eyed, more mechanical. I was watching myself decay in real time. Desperate, I pulled the plug. The screen went black, and for a second, everything was silent. Then, a faint glow returned. The TV was off, but the reflection of my living room still shimmered faintly on the surface. Except I wasn't in it. The reflection showed me standing by the window, even though I was sitting on the floor. I blinked, and the reflection smiled. I didn't. Slowly, it raised a finger and pointed behind me. My breath froze. I turned around slowly, expecting to see nothing, but there it was, the figure from before, identical to me, standing in the doorway. It tilted its head, curious, almost friendly. Then it mouthed something I couldn't hear, before fading like smoke. The reflection in the TV didn't fade, though. It stayed, breathing slowly, as if waiting for permission to leave. I covered the blanket with a screen and sat in the corner, my hands shaking. The hum still lingered in my ears, pulsing like a heartbeat. Morning came, pale and unreal. I removed the blanket, hoping it was just a dream, but the screen showed a frozen frame. Me, sleeping on the couch, from the exact angle of the living room. The timestamp read, "Next broadcast, tonight, 00." That night, I stayed away from the TV, lights off, pretending not to care. But exactly at midnight, I heard it power on by itself. The familiar static filled the air again. I didn't look. I couldn't. But I could feel my reflection standing behind me, watching patiently. The voice returned, softer this time, whispering from somewhere close. "It's your turn to broadcast," it said. My body felt weightless, pulled toward the sound. My reflection smiled wider, pressing a hand against the glass. I reached out, unable to stop myself. The screen rippled like water as my fingertips touched it. The hum became deafening, and for a moment, everything stretched into white noise. Then silence. Only the faint light of the TV remained. Now, the broadcast plays every midnight, showing the same street, the same apartment, and a new figure walking home under the flickering lamps. Sometimes, if you tune in long enough, you might see someone wave from inside. Someone who looks a lot like me.